Hey guys, welcome to Awesome Reviews. This is Charlie bringing you the reaction and review to the Iron Fist Season 2 trailer that Netflix just dropped. Now, I didn't see any announcements of this trailer dropping, so it was a surprise to me. I may have just missed them. Not really been paying a lot of attention recently, just had a couple of sort of busy week or so. However, was a surprise to me, so let's get it reacted to. Iron Fist Season 1 was probably the worst of the first. No, everyone agrees with that. The first sort of, well, the worst so far, let's put it that way. I haven't seen Luke Cage Season 2 yet. I will maybe attempt to get that reacted to on here rather than, just watching it privately. So I can't say where that goes in the pecking order, as it were. I've heard mixed things about it. Some people say it's good, some people say it's not good. So, yeah, not sure yet. Danny Rand as a character was probably the worst as well. So, but he was a lot better in Defenders, so there is potential there. I mean, the rest of the cast for Iron Fist was, it's not really. I say cast, that's the bad word. The rest of the characters, the actor was fine. He was, he did what he was asked to do. But the rest of the characters were pretty great in Iron Fist. I thought, anyway. I actually quite like the rest of the characters. So. Yeah, I've got nothing else to say now, so let's just watch this trailer.
You have not been home in days.
I have no idea what the plot is for this.
Sleep when you are home.
I don't know if they've done any announcements for that either.
How many times a night you light that fist up? I see how much you're pushing yourself.
Just trying to keep the peace.
Still the best character, Colleen. Of course, the way we ended with Defenders, he sort of was taken over from Daredevil, I think.
The Iron Fist.
I'm fighting for what I believe in, no matter the cost.
Yeah, but that's Colleen.
Trying to do what's right.
Was that the same restaurant?
I didn't expect to see you here, brother.
From Defenders?
We have family matters to discuss.
I thought he was dead.
You and
Couldn't remember.
Davos, you were trained together.
I fought my brother. There is no changing what happened.
You feel that you can just walk through this world as if it belongs to you. The Iron Fist is not a weapon to be held, it is to be used.
Recognize her.
Now you'll give me what's mine, brother. You will suffer.
He's the villain.
The Iron Fist, Davos wanted it.
We can stop him, but I need help.
You're not alone.
Hey, Misty's in this.
But we can't save everyone.
I can't just sit here and do nothing.
That was nicely edited.
You never had the strength to be.
History doesn't decide what happens next.
Hey, Wards! Hey, Ward.
With you.
Again, that's his first name.
We should do this more often. Dinner out, a movie. Date night.
September 7th. Yeah, not far off now. So, Iron Fist Season 2 looks pretty good, actually. Before you were writing the comment, by the way, that woman I said I recognise, I did realise when I sort of realised the second I corrected Ward's name when Ward popped up in that trailer. I went Ward and then Meacham. Sorry, it's the sort of Marvel thing. It's the Agent Ward surname. There's two Wards obviously in the Marvel universe, and the other one has Ward as a surname. So that's why I think I've seen other people do it as well. Forget that it's actually Ward Meacham rather than something Ward. As soon as I said Meacham, I realised why I recognised that woman I recognised. It's because that was Joey Meacham, who was in Series 1, so I should have recognised her. Yeah. So yeah, no need to write in the comments who that woman was, because I did remember. I also did look at Wikipedia afterwards. I'm not entirely certain why. I just felt like I was missing something. I'm glad I did, because the first thing I noticed is the fact it's only a 10-episode series, which means it might avoid the curse of Netflix, of the Netflix curse, which is pretty much every single series of Marvel stuff on Netflix has had one criticism, which is it gets a bit stretched in the middle. Usually it's sort of right in the middle. A few episodes just feel a bit stretched, and they just try sort of, you know, padding it out a little bit in the middle. 10 episodes, and it's always been pretty much, everyone sort of said is these series are always like 2 or 3 episodes too long potentially. This is only 10 episodes, and I think that might partially be because of how poorly received the first series was, just in general. Like, that suffered, I mean, it suffered from the same thing of having too many episodes, but it also suffered from way bigger problems than that. Which I'll get into in a second, because I think they might have fixed that too, judging by the trailer as well. But then I found out why. That might be sort of why I decided to have a look as well, just sort of subconsciously. I felt like Slammiga changed, because it felt a lot glossier and a lot sharper. You know, in the middle of that trailer, I was sort of actually exclaimed that, "Ooh, that was actually well edited," and to the beat. There is a reason for that, as it turns out. But anyway, back to the 10 episode thing. I feel like because of how badly that was received, the first series, that they're kind of using this to test a 10 episode, so 10 episode order, rather than the typical 13. Because, you know, let's face it, if it doesn't work, then it's not really going to do any worse than the first series did. So it's kind of actually really, I mean, in a way, it's a blessing in disguise of how badly received that first series was, because now, if that's the reason why they're using this as a bit of an experiment, then... I mean, admittedly, it is 3 less episodes of Colleen, who, let's face it, is probably the best character. One of the best characters in the entire Marvel thing. I'll probably say Jessica Jones is my favourite, and then Colleen. But, yeah, Misty's probably actually 3rd. So... glad she's in this, which actually doesn't excuse why I haven't seen Luke Cage series 2, considering, you know, but I will get on that really shortly. I will sort of react to that in its entirety and then edit it, so that way we don't have any interruptions and I can't mess up. However, this is Luke Cage, and back to the reason why I felt this felt glossier. They've changed the stunt coordinator. The stunt coordinator has changed and has actually gone on record that he kind of wanted to bring a more Jackie Chan vibe to this, and sort of bring the choreography into a musical dynamic, as it were. I can't think of the wording for that sentence, but you know what I mean. It's sort of, and you saw it in that trailer, the way the fights were sort of put to the trailer music, and that's an indication of the fight scenes going forward, because the fight scenes were one of those big problems that I mentioned earlier with season 1. If they've corrected that, and particularly with a character such as Iron Fist, who is heavily reliant on those sort of martial arts fighting scenes, for them to be subpar in season 1 was a huge problem. If they fix that, then that will go a long way to, you know, correcting course for Iron Fist. Other thing, and I do know enough of Iron Fist. I've said before in these things that in these sort of reactions that I didn't have access to comics as a kid. I grew up in very, 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 very rural England. Had no comic shops for at all, really. So I haven't read any comics really for anything DC or Marvel. It was talking about Injustice and Shazam. That's why I mentioned this before, because those were the only comics I've actually ever read, and I read them when I was at university via the app. So yeah, I don't really know a lot of things, but I have seen enough and I have played enough Marvel sort of games and things to know what Iron Fist comic should look like. And of course, we saw the classic Iron Fist mask during that trailer, which is something to get excited for. Misty's presence is, of course, something to get excited for, just in general. But I do know enough of this stuff that I've read over the course of obviously these Marvel films, Marvel series coming out. I've read enough sort of tangential stuff, just knowledge-wise, not comic-wise, just, you know, wiki-wise, to know that Misty and Colleen is a big deal, or at least a reasonable deal. So that's something to get excited for hardcore comic fans in particular. So yeah, it looks like they're doing a lot of things right so far. And we only got 3 or 4 weeks to find out, so I better get on that Luke Cage real quick, actually, otherwise I won't get here in time for this Iron Fist, because I want to get this started when this comes out, then react to it when this comes out. And I'll probably, you know, do it the same way, just record it either in like 1 or 2 chunks, and then make sure I will edit them all before I release the first one. So that way won't have any breaks in schedule. I will sort of typically like do release 2 or 3 a week. And yeah, anyway, looks good. Looks a lot better than the first series. Hopefully they've sort of taken. It was weird actually that Danny Rand was one of the sort of the redeeming things of the Defenders arc, because he was so much better in that than he was in his own series. So I do believe the entire showrunner has changed as well, which probably will help. They will probably have seen obviously the reactions to the first series and the reactions to Danny Rand in Defenders and gone, well, clearly they did something right in Defenders and they weren't doing right in Iron Fist, and go, right, okay, we take the good things from Defenders and we build up, sort of try and remove the negatives from the original series, and hopefully this works out. I really want this to work out, and it could be actually. I mean, it's kind of set itself up because of how poor the first. Well, not to say poor. I did enjoy it enough. I wasn't engrossed by it, but I sort of did watch it enough. I had sort of had it on whilst I was doing other things, so that might be why I wasn't 100% certain what happened in the end. It looks like a lot of the details I have forgotten about Iron Fist Season 1. It wasn't something that really engrossed me like Daredevil Season 1 or Jessica Jones Series 1. So that might be why I've forgotten a few things about this. But anyway, it could be the first Marvel series to do better in its second series than its first. Depending on what my opinions on Luke Cage are once that's all finished. I have heard mixed things about that, so it could go either way. This could be the first thing that is universally better and universally agreed to be better in its second season than its first. Anyway, I'll see you in 3 or 4 weeks for this. Until then, probably see you before then. Until then,